Go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the March 31st work session, Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. I'm Aaron Mays. I'm the chairman this year, and I represent District 3. On my left is Commissioner Bill Rippon. He represents District 1. And on my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, representing District 2. Rich Eckert, our county counselor, is also up here at the table with us. So good morning to all of you. Let's go ahead and dive in. Our first item today is presentations and solid waste with Bill Sutton. Who's up first?
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. Thank you for the opportunity just to provide you a 2025 solid waste update, highlighting some of our last year's successes and being able to express some of my concerns before we get into the actual budget time. And then as well as I'll be followed by Brittany, who from Keep America Beautiful. And that is important because what a lot of people don't realize is Shawnee County Solid Waste provides a majority of the funding to Keep America Beautiful. They kind of do our dirty work, just keeping the community clean and looking good. So, jumping into it. So, like everybody, like you gentlemen know, but not everybody knows, is Shawnee County Solid Waste is 100% user fee funded with no taxpayer assistance. I'm sure you guys have heard that several times, but I make that a point so everybody understands that we are our own entity. We are our enterprise fund. So we run the department just like a business. I have an outstanding support team back here with Audit Finance. They're kind of the financial controllers, if you will. So I just need to keep it in the black, stay out of the red, and make everybody happy and provide that service to the community and eliminate those phone calls that you guys may or may not receive from customers. Shawnee County Solid Waste basically have three divisions, three major divisions. We have the refuse division, the recycling division, and as well as I covered down on the we were also responsible for the household hazardous waste out there on Northeast 46th Street. Household hazardous waste, I'll talk a little bit later about it, but it is a free service for all of the residents within Shawnee County. Do not have to be a customer of mine, and we do have people that jump the county borders, and I'm fine with that. But basically, we will take in any household hazardous waste and dispose of it free of cost to keep that stuff out of the landfill and keep it out of the ditches. We also accept tires. We take 5 tires per resident per year, and that eliminates those tires in the ditches that we see because it is illegal to dispose of tires in the landfill. We also out there at the HHW take electronic waste for free. We started that back in 2020, eliminating the events within the city. So now customers just come out there at all times and just drop that stuff off. Speaking of customers, as you can see, this is my trend for customer growth within the department. So I just did a 3-year snapshot here. If you go back a little bit further, the growth is pretty significant, kind of slowly tapering, but we're continuing to experience year-over-year growth on the trash side or refuse side. Recycling side, we're seeing a diminishing, major there in 2023, and then just a minor declining trend. That major growth or decline in recycling, just for everyone's edification, that is when we started charging people to recycle. We did away with the free program, and we started charging $3.50, and you can see that big decline there. That really cleaned up my recycling stream because now people are paying for that recycling, so they're providing us a good commodity and a good product. All right, I mentioned that we was user fee funded, and here's kind of a breakdown of the revenue that, this is actually 2024's revenue, not 2025, I apologize. But we brought in a little bit over $18.5 million last year, and you can kind of see the breakup of how we got to those funds. A little over 60% came from city customers, and then about 13% came from the county customers, and then our commercial was a little over 2.5 million. So that's how we broke down our revenue from last year. We're on track to exceed that this year, and we'll just see where we end up at, but we should end up around 19.3, 19.4. All right, our tonnages, our trends, this is what pays the bills, and this is what causes the bills, actually. That top line, that is my trash tonnage going out to Rolling Meadows landfill. You see that dip down there in 2022, but we're steadily progressing year over year. You see my customers trend line, and then you see my MRF tons, or my recycling tons, with a kind of a slight decline, and then that bottom line is the C&D tons, which goes towards Greenpoint. So overall, we're performing pretty well along those lines there. All right, disposal fees. This is a current snapshot of where we're at in disposal fees, and we'll talk about this in a later slide. You can see just the 3-year trend. We're up almost $400,000 just in paying out to WM for Rolling Meadows. Recycling's all over the place because that is kind of commodity based. So last year I paid a little over a quarter, or almost 225, a little over, to WM Recycle, and then Greenpoint there at the bottom, 141,000. All right, so that's kind of a financial snapshot where we're at, and now I just kind of like to show a few highlights of last year. The first one is I requested to purchase this particular vehicle, and it basically is a 1-ton vehicle with an apparatus in the back, and we use this to go in inclement weather and in places that we can't take a big truck, or if I have a misstop somewhere out there in the county, that it is much easier to take this vehicle than a big truck. And it has paid dividends this past winter. And for your viewing pleasure, I actually happen to park it right outside on the street there, so if you want to look at it up close after the meeting, feel free. But this has been a great thing. Anybody can jump in this that's cleared to drive for the county. So myself, one of the supervisors, any of the drivers, they can jump in this. Very easy to operate, just like driving a pickup truck. They pull up to the customer that for some reason we missed, and we service those customers. Another highlight from last year is our customer counts. So this is a snapshot. This is all our customers on Thursday that's north of the river. And this is all of our Friday customers as well. So we have, going back to Thursday, we have, if I can operate this thing, we have experienced some pretty good growth in this area here, to the point where we needed to add another route. And same thing over on the west or the east side is over there in the Tecumseh and over there on that border. We gained quite a few customers, which drove us, to add an additional route. So we went from 16 routes to actual 17 trash routes. And we was able to balance out our routes considerably and eliminate some super long Thursday and Friday routes, and it made everybody's lives easier. So just kind of a good success story there. Some opportunities that I'd like to talk about. Back in 2020, we went out and we contracted with Routeware for our automated dispatching software. Before that, we was on a paper book system. Basically, you had a book that was printed every day of addresses of the customer stops, and the drivers would drive down the road looking to see what stops. It was very antiquated and frankly unsafe. So we went with Routeware. That contract is up at the end of this year. This is our first going into the digital world. So we're looking at other possibilities, and these are some of the vendors that we have been researching heavily, and we're finding that there is a lot better technology in the current Routeware system. There's some AI-based stuff that is pretty remarkable. Truck pulls up, AI recognizes whether your can's out or not, and will annotate that into the system with very little driver input. So now the driver just basically focusing on the road and his two gentlemen on the back. So I'll probably be coming to you at some point discussing our opportunities and our strategies going forward here with our software. But we'd like to get something in place because, again, the contract ends in December, and we definitely want to have something in place and up and working prior to that December end. Another great opportunity is my HHW facility. I'm sure you gentlemen have been out there at some point. This was, I want to say, is developed back in, I can't even guess when it was constructed. But we've seen a major increase in customers through there, just because we're getting the word out that the service is available. Last year, I was just shy of 9,100 customers in through there. So the concrete and the pad has taken a pretty good beating. You can kind of see from some of the photos here how the concrete is failing. They drive their little forklift through there. And we'd just like to get that repaired. And that spot there was not even constructed at the beginning, which we really need some concrete there. So what I'd like to do, obviously we'll go out for bid, but what I'd like to do is focus on reconstructing that concrete on that south side, redoing the pad and putting some approach and departure aprons. And we'll have to do this in 2 phases just because we have to have traffic flow for customers. And then on the second phase is we'd like to do that, replace that sidewalk and put that one spot there, build out that one spot for traffic. Obviously, we're open for discussion on this, and if this is not the right time to do it, I understand it, but that's part of our long-term goals. Some additional concerns, pretty much the same concerns I had last year. I just changed the number, so now I have a 44-year office manager and a 30-year supervisor. That one of those probably will retire this year, so I have that institutional knowledge that I'll have to backfill. And of course, my routeware contract will expire at the end of this year. Contracts. Myself and Mr. Eckert, we're in the throes of renegotiating this contract with WM. Our current one is $38.33 per ton with an annual CPI increase. We've been discussing with WM. We're trying to get this across the finish line before June 13th, so we do not have, well, we have to have something in place. And then my recycling contract actually ends next February. This is a big unknown. Mr. Vudovic is no longer with WM in the recycling world, so we'll have to be talking to another whoever and negotiating that contract. So that could be a definite unknown at this point. Just kind of give you a snapshot of where we're going. You see that 2024 is just a little bit shy of 3 million. This year we're estimated to go over 3 million, and then 2026 will be at 3.1. That 2025, I'll be able to accommodate that financially without a rate increase. But depending where we land at, that 2026 might trigger some type of rate increase for my refuse customers. And when we talk about rate increase, it's going to be insignificant, probably around $1. All right, so we'll just see where it's happened. So nothing official yet, that's just what we're looking at. And then the great unknown down there in my recycling, we don't know where we'll land at with that. Composting, I put this on there last year. It triggered a lot of behind the scenes conversations. It's still on my radar. I don't think it's the time to do it now. I need to get these contracts in place to see where we're at. A lot of people want to do composting, but a lot of people do not understand what is involved with initiating a good composting program. So it's still on my long-range plans, nothing in the next year, definitely. Subject to your questions, gentlemen, before we hand it off to Brittany.
Questions?
The increase in fees, is that due to the volume of material you're hauling in, or is it the fees have increased?
A little bit of both, sir. So, year-over-year CPI on all aspects, both Greenpoint, recycling, and then, and again, recycling is commodity-based, but trash definitely, we did have that increase in tonnage, as well as, I believe it was like 5% CPI last year as well.
You also mentioned that your recycling stream is cleaner now. But we're not taking glass as part of that stream, right?
Correct, sir. That program was initiated, and we're doing very well. That was initiated in June 2020 officially. And every year we've been pulling out about 250 tons of glass. So that's 250 tons not getting counted against me in recycling, as well as we're actually recycling that glass now over in Kansas City.
Is there much of a market for recycled material? Cardboard usually is, but
cardboard's doing very well, and there can be. I just attended a recycling conference last week, and we had several presenters, and they was giving kind of a market update. And the slightest thing in the recycling industry can cause a major wave. For example, there was a fire down south, I think it was in Louisiana, where they destroyed 9,500 tons of paper. That's going to trigger a spike in the paper market for a couple months. So just the smallest things can cause a ripple throughout the entire recycling industry.
that's mixed paper?
That was mixed paper, yes.
Okay.
But right now, cardboard's making me money. I make about $5,000 approximately every month, and that's just based off the cardboard that we collect in those yellow boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bill, the household hazardous waste, having it all the way up in North Shawnee County, it's quite a drive for people in central or South Topeka to get to. Have we ever thought about maybe relocating that to a more central location so it's more accessible by more people to try and get those household hazardous wastes out of the stream?
I think there has been discussion prior to my time here. I've been here a little over 5 years. So any conversation or plans that happened before me, I'm not aware of. I just know there was some talking. Obviously, we need a good building. Obviously, it had to be permitted. I'm sure that had to go through the planning department as well as the city department. And there's some hesitation, obviously, about having a building with, household hazardous waste within the city. It's kind of like the not in my backyard scenario with the landfill. Mm-hmm. It's a necessity, but people don't want it. So we're up there right now. We're established. We've extended our hours throughout the week to accommodate those people that necessarily can't get there on the weekends or throughout their business day. And that seemed to help quite a bit. And of course, we're open on that Saturday as well, first Saturday of the month. So we're trying to be as accommodating as possible, but any plans to actually move it inside, I'm not aware of anything like that.
Now, some neighborhoods, such as they will have a drop-off spot on weekends over there by the Stormont-Vale Event Center for trying to get, again, materials out of the stream that are more construction-related. Have we thought about maybe partnering with some different people? Again, I'm just trying to think how we can make the household hazardous waste more accessible, even if you had a drop-off spot and then, collection, being able to transport it up to the household hazardous waste.
And that is an option. Just thinking about it, maybe doing a possible drop there, or a single day collection event down there, 19th and Western. Obviously, we'd have to transport it out that same day, just mm-hmm. so it's not sitting there throughout the weekend. That is something we'll look into.
Now, one of the programs that you have at Household Hazardous Waste is the paint recycling. And we're still doing that, correct?
Yes, sir. So we'll take our mixed paint. We'll take any latex paint that's still good. that's not hit its shelf life there, and we'll blend it up, mix it up, make a variety of colors out of it, and then we'll sell that to the general public for $10 for 5 gallons. So it's a good way to keep from paying to dispose of that paint with our disposal vendor.
Okay. So I
Okay, Bill, can you go back to your, I think it was maybe the second slide, the bar graph of your customers, the breakdown. So I just want to point out that the bar graph looks like it's a 50% reduction in numbers, but it's really more like a 13%, I think is what I'm guessing, something 13 to 15% reduction.
I'm not one of those arithmetic guys, but.
But
it's-
what I'm saying is the
Yes.
bar graph starts at 36,000,
Yeah.
not 0. So you
Correct,
didn't
yes.
lose half of your recycling
Correct, yeah.
customers. even
No,
though-
it's
Yeah.
about 11 or 12% reduction overall.
Okay.
Yep.
Have we seen an increase in cardboard coming in since the commissioners can now put their pizza boxes in the?
Cardboard, it's pretty steady. It's
Pretty
around anywhere between 95 and 110,000 tons.
All right.
The pizza boxes are still
Still recyclable.
recyclable. Even
this
people
moment,
don't
yes.
believe it though when you tell them.
I know this.
Any other questions for Bill?
no.
All right, I'm gonna go check out that truck when you're done, so don't drive off just quite yet, so. All right, next update will be from Keep America Beautiful. Brittany.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Very happy to be here to kind of go over what we've kind of been doing in the last year or so. So just gonna kind of go over things real quick. You know, our mission is to enhance the quality of life in Topeka and Shawnee County, Kansas. By fostering a clean and beautiful environment, we are dedicated to raising awareness through education about litter prevention and responsible waste management, while collaborating with community partners who share our vision for a sustainable future. Our vision is of course, Shawnee County, Kansas, where every community is a clean, green, and beautiful place to live. And that is, encompassing our outer communities as well. Guiding principles, the accepting of individual responsibility is essential for the enhancement of our community environments. Education is the foundation for responsible individual action towards the environment. The most effective community partnerships include representation from the public, private, and civic sectors. And then just quickly, I am the executive director for Keep America Beautiful, and I have been since 2022. Very excited about my role. But also our team includes, I field our volunteers, which ranges anywhere from a little itty bitty child to a grown person, even people in wheelchairs or people who can't really get around as much. They're a part of this as well, by helping organize our volunteers. And then we have our professional side, such as our KAB board, our executive partners, such as you guys, and then just different partners and sponsors throughout the community. Our office is located, so if you ever want to come check us out, we are at the old the old Stout building over off of College Avenue. We have a partnership with Community Resources Council with Mary Thomas to help, and this is kind of cool to explain that these are sustainable buildings as well, so I could go more into that. But our future office location move will be coming up to the Lundgren location. As there's a community gardens out there, Oakland Community Gardens, we would love to partner with in the future to bring education about composting. So it's exciting. We also on our webpage have created an eco education station. This page is located under our resources tabs, and it helps let you explore, create, and play while learning to protect our planet. The Eco Education webpage is full of fun resources like interactive activities, games, and education materials that teaches sustainability, composting, reducing, reusing, repurposing, and recycling. So you can see a free list of resources below with handouts and quizzes to make this learning about the planet a blast. And you can find it on our link there. And we have switched to a more easier web page. You can still visit our old web page and it'll be directed to this, but this one is keepshawneebeautiful.org. But you can / Eco Education Station to find that particular page. Education we offer, of course, is sustainability, reducing, reusing, recycling, water conservation for sure is very important, and we participate in the Water Festival every year with the 4th graders and help talk about household hazardous waste as well, and how if we litter, it can go into our water stream. This year is new on education for native plants of Kansas. I would like to bring new awareness to our community in lieu of that, and focus, what we should be planting and when we should be planting it. And household hazardous waste, of course, education, repurposing, and composting. Kind of just a quick show and tell of kind of things we've done over the past year or so. We have submitted a tree every year for the SLI Festival of Trees to kind of have another education awareness without us being present, just to show the community, different ways that we can reuse our recycled material instead of, we could still recycle them, but sometimes, excuse me, the RX bottles are hard to recycle. So just finding different ways to use some of the harder items such as plastic bags. I did remember coming in and showing you guys a while ago my mat I had made out of plastic bags, which was fun. So just little things around the year to kind of showcase different events and do the projects with the children and get them involved as well. And then the cleanup initiatives, of course, is our biggest thing. We do have our Get Down and Get Dirty, and I have made sure you guys have our flyer for that coming up this Saturday. We're really excited. Last year we had about 700 volunteers. This year we have just a little bit over that. Weather looks semi-okay this year. Last year we had a little bit of issue with bad weather, so we look forward to having an even greater one this year. We have about 45 teams now, so getting that more involved to the community, we can kind of see that going on. I've had other sponsors reach out as well to kind of get in with this on the business side, which is very important. Such as Sam's Club. Never had a sponsorship from them, but I had the manager call me up last week after going in there and inviting him out, and so just seeing the need from those communities, people as well on the business side. So we also did a Central Park with Omni Circle cleanup this last weekend. It wasn't really, we were just partnering at this situation and helping provide bags and the vests, safety vests for people to wear, and the pickers. Touching on that, we think that we need to make sure that our volunteers know how to be safe, and so I will be going over that again this year, just with all our volunteers who come to this, just letting them know that just to be aware of the situations around us. Now, our cleanups usually stay in the park areas and on the sidewalks, so more visible. We generally don't go into the communities super, such as residential streets. That is important, but education on that is where we're hitting that, but focusing on the main parkways. Share Fest is also coming up. We'll be providing bags this year for that. Super excited. They want a lot of bags, so I'm assuming they have quite a bit of volunteers coming for that as well. The Silver Lake cleanup with the cemetery is new this year. We did partner with them last year to have this cleanup, and Liz is so sweet out there, and she's just so motivated, and she loved how we cleaned up our cemetery in October, so she's wanting to add that this year with her cleanup in April, on April 12th. So I'm going to be throwing a volunteer luncheon for that to come thank the volunteers out there. And then, of course, we have the Spooky Clean Cemetery Trash Sweep, which I've started. This will be our 3rd year coming up. We've doubled the numbers of people attending for those, so that's really exciting. hoping to kind of get a little more awareness on that too. So that to showcase as well that cleanups are not just in the, around Earth Day, but throughout the whole year. This is a quick snapshot of just a volunteer base from about this time last year to this year. Of course, we're gonna have even bigger numbers at the end of this year, including our Get Down and Get Dirty numbers, and then the Omni Circle as well. They had about 300 volunteers out there this last weekend. And it was really nice, the chief of police did come out, so just seeing our local entities as well coming. But we'll have we had a new Sutherland's composting event out there as well. That was new. And Logan Elementary STEM Fair is coming up. Silver Lake Library events coming up as well to do with repurposing golf balls and then how to grow your own seeds, so just that knowledge. The How to Recycle Just About Everything Earth Day event, I believe Bill will be coming with me as well. We'll be kind of partnering on that to try to bring awareness about, and I did include, you should have received a recycle directory for this year, so we'll be going over that and kind of going over, the different sections in that for this event. I will be doing the Shawnee County Volunteers event, trying to drum up some volunteers or people who would be interested in becoming a board member. We did have a new board member join, so very excited about that. Younger lady who's just very passionate, has kids, so seeing that drive as well for trying to have diversity in our board. So we're always looking to have somebody else join in. We are also partnering more with the zoo, so we have about 4 events coming up. Party for the Planet for sure, for the Earth Day celebration on the 19th. We'll be there, super excited. And then the Pollinator Palooza will be running their booth. Dennis Dinwiddie gave me the okay to do that. We'll be making seed balls with the kids with native plant seeds. So along the same mission as we're trying to get out for that. World Oceans Day and World Rivers Day are also new with the zoo. We'll be partnering with them on those events. Those will all be on Saturday. But a lot of families get out for that time, so we're excited on that. And then the River Park cleanup, Dennis Dinwiddie is also on the River Strategies, I believe, or a part of the Kaw River Association. So we will be hopefully partnering with them coming up to clean up some of the parks around the river. Not so much in the river, because we do have to be careful of volunteers as they're younger usually, but of course cleaning up the parks around so that way they won't blow into the river. So it's had about 30 meetings, 200 hours of education. Again, this trash collection will be, I'm sure, doubling this year since we've added a couple bigger cleanups. And so super excited about that. And then this is the flyer that is our Get Down and Get Dirty. We are still taking teams up to the day before. We have old shirts from last year, or the ones, extra shirts, not old shirts, but extra ones we can provide for people who do still want a shirt. Very easy. We tried to make with the QR codes this year, trying to be more accessible to the younger generations. So that is exciting about that. And then this is a picture from last year, kind of showcasing that I'm just so excited about these children getting involved early with trying to help and establish those morals in their lives to keep our community clean. So we are very thankful to our incredible volunteers of the past, present, and of course in the future, as their passion and commitment have been vital in sustaining our mission and strengthening our community. Together we are making a powerful impact. This of course is our directory. Recycle directory. We have distributed it over this year, just in the course of 3 or 4 months, 500 copies. So people are wanting these to pass out. It's something that a lot of counties don't even have. That is something I've heard from other counties. Oh, I wish we would have this for our county. So just super excited about that. And we do have it available on our website on every page, so it's easy for people to find this. We do point them to the website before trying to get a printed copy, just to save on paper and be more sustainable that way. So this is my information. If you ever need to get a hold of me or know of somebody who would like to hold a trash cleanup, I'm always here, always willing to see how I can help. So thank you so much for having me here and letting me share anything. If you guys have any questions or anything?
Yeah, Commissioner Coyle?
Does KAB still do a kind of a survey of the whole community and how they're doing on trash collect, or, you know, keeping the whole area clean, the city, county?
Yeah, we kind of do around January, maybe late January, February, we kind of do a drive around and kind of look at the areas before where we've seen trash and kind of get a collection that way of where we need to focus our efforts in. And the litter prevention, I think it's called Litter Prevention Community Index.
Right.
That Keep America Beautiful has, the national, so we do submit those numbers to them.
Yeah.
Commissioner Coyle?
No, don't have anything additional. Thank you for everything you do, Brittany.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing more every year, so that's
Trying to.
really good. I hope this, well, I forget what the name of the event was that you guys are having.
Get
the-
down and dirty.
Getting down and dirty, yeah. I hope that goes well this year, so.
We'll be on KSNT on Wednesday with Dane Kroll, so we also got them as a sponsor as well. So just getting more people involved and spreading the message. And we really appreciate your partnership with us, so thank you
That's
so much.
fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we do not have anybody signed up for public comment. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none. Any administrative communications today? Seeing none. We do not have a need for an executive session, so we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.